We are here to celebrate the big victory, and I will say it was an important win. There was a moment where, down 9, about 8 minutes to go, you think, man, this is going to be a really, really bad loss. And then Kentucky does what they do, go on a huge run quickly, get the victory, and escape to now, I guess Kentucky is 8 losses. They're 21-8 with 2 games left. At this point, 4th in the SEC. If the tournament started tomorrow, they would have a double bye after this victory. Like I said, 859-280-2287. Let's talk a little bit about what happened today. I thought Kentucky offensively really was great throughout the game. I mean, 111 points is a pretty impressive amount of points. I don't really care what you do. But the way they did it, 7 different players in double figures. Just for historical context, it's only the 6th time in Kentucky history that 7 players have scored in double figures in a game. 6th time in history, and the last time was in 2004. I mean, you just don't see that very often where that many guys go off. And it was Antonio Reeves and 6 freshmen. 6 freshmen in double digits. And then at the end of the game, as maybe the biggest Antonio Reeves fan in the country, with 6 minutes to go, I thought to myself, why is Antonio Reeves not in the game? Well, Cal said he wanted to give him a minute break before the final push, which I understand. But then they went on a run without him, and they ended up closing the game with 5 freshmen and played amazing during that period of time. Rob Dillingham, for 33 minutes, does not play well, and then he wins them the game in a 5-minute stretch. I mean, that's the thing about that kid. I've never seen a kid where, what happens in the first of the game does not necessarily mean what's going to happen at the end. You go 33 minutes without scoring, and then 7 minutes, he takes over. Taking it to the basket, helping his teammates, setting them up. It was awesome. Go on a run, and then Justin Edwards with some big plays down the stretch to help him get the victory. It's an excellent win for Kentucky. Arkansas has not been good this year, but they played today like the team I think they thought they were going to have all year. Defensively, Kentucky was bad throughout the game, but they did get a handful of possessions, I think 5 in a row, where they held them from scoring, and really that's probably the difference in the game. They were able to get 3 minutes worth of stops and win. This team is still going to have to win games outscoring people. They're just not that great defensively, and thus they got to put up points. But, man, they can put up points in bunches. And when you have a day like today when DJ Wagner hits 4 threes, Justin Edwards hits shots, and Z is finishing down low, and Aaron Bradshaw has one of the best halves he's had at Kentucky. And then Antonio Reeves with a silent 22 points. Billy, I barely remember him scoring, and he had 22 points. That kid is amazing like that. And then the Dillingham stretch, it's just a team that is very, very, very hard to stop offensively. The only negatives, like I said, the defense was what it was. Trey Mitchell didn't play particularly well, but he's coming off an injury. That takes a little time. But I'm very happy with the result. We just needed to win. Same thing Wednesday night against Vandy. Just need to win. And then I think they'll play Tennessee for a shot to be the 2 or 3 seed in the SEC tournament, maybe for the shot at a 3 seed in the NCAA tournament. A lot on the line next Saturday if they can get the win against Vandy on senior night. We are here at KS Bar. Come on out if you want and celebrate the victory. 2 folks sitting here next to me. Everybody was scared. You 2 were the only 2 that stepped up. There was a line of people, and I said if somebody wants to sit here, they can, and 2 different couples turned it down.
Wow.
Why would they be scared, guys? You don't know. I mean, you're wearing a nothing fancy hat, and so, it's nothing fancy just to sit here with me, so I appreciate it. Where are you all from? Monacello. See, Wayne, I was just there a couple weeks ago in Monacello. Nice to see you folks. Thank you for coming. What are your names? I'm going to give you a shout-out. Nice to see you. Now, Billy, did you see the picture I tweeted out during the game of the guy on his truck?
Yes. Yeah, I did see that.
I do want to tell this story before we get off and take the calls. So For people who don't know, I have an apartment in Lexington. I mostly live in Louisville, but I have a place in Lexington, and it's real close to Rupp Arena. And I'm watching the game, and Billy, I start to get nervous, right? I get nervous when things aren't going well. And they take an 8 or 9 point lead. I start pacing around. Then Dillingham goes on his run, and I think we're up 3. I think it's like 95-92 or something like that. And I decide to step out on my little patio, and I look out, and I see a guy, and I loved it. He was standing in the bed of his truck. He had his phone. If you look at my Twitter account, at KY Sports Radio, he has his phone on top of his truck, and he's listening to Tom and Jack, and his head is on the truck with nerves, and he has clearly left the game because to be where his truck was, you would only be there if you're parking for the game. He is standing there. He has clearly left the game because he's too nervous, listening to the game on the radio. And I just want to say to that guy, I didn't want to embarrass him by listening. So I made sure I didn't take the picture till you couldn't see his face, right?
Right.
But I do want to say to that guy, I've been there. That's me. I did it at the 2014 Final Four, and I feel like that picture, Billy, is Kentucky fans in a nutshell. We've all been that guy at some point.
That's relatable content, and you know what? This team has just been so up and down, then how can you blame them? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's part of it. But part of it is sometimes it's just so nerve-wracking you can't take it anymore. And he clearly left the arena and listened to it in the back of his truck, and I